Girls Band Cry. I've made a video on this in the past already, and now that the season is over, I wanted to talk about it some more. I have seen many music anime up to this point. Sound Euphonium, K-On!, Bochi, Bang Dream, the list goes on. Girls Band Cry is probably my favorite and in my opinion the best out of all of them. This series started pretty low-key for the most part, but now, at least from what I've seen, it has grown to be more and more popular with each week, which makes me happy because this show deserves it all. The music anime genre has grown to become one of my favorites. I'm sorry if I ramble, by the way. It's just something that I tend to do, but stick with me. Let's get started with the synopsis. The main character drops out of high school in her second year and aims at entering a university while working alone in Tokyo. The series follows a group of high school dropouts who form a band to express their emotions and deal with their struggles as they enter the music scene. The main character, Nina, the vocalist, moves to Kawasaki, Kanagawa Prefecture to live independently and pursue university. There she meets Moka and they discover their shared love of music. The girls join forces with other dropouts to form the band. So from the jump you can tell that it's relatable. I'm not a music player myself, but when you are struggling with something, you tend to focus on something that you really love to distract yourself from it. That's only one part of the reason that they do this, of course. It obviously goes deeper, but let's get into all the characters. I feel like each one of them is completely different and they have their own motivations and have their own arcs individually. I will go into the order of which we met them. Okay, Nina, the main character, an ordinary girl who is a little shy at first. She attended school but kept a low profile and average grades. She didn't have any big dreams and she just lived her life going with the flow until she dropped out one day because of constant bullying. This led to her getting away to the big city. She comes from a pretty well-off family with a dad who is very hard to gauge and just a very strict family overall. But at the end of the day, I'm sure they just want what's best for her. We all know when we were younger, it was hard to let down our parents or to at least think that we were letting them down, which is another relatable thing. But as she moves to the big city, she eventually meets Moka, a singer from a band that she really looked up to, and they eventually perform together, leading to the forming of their band from early on. She has trouble trusting her friends or her new bandmates because of what's happened in the past, and that's real. Next, our second character is Moka, the lead guitarist. She is a 20-year-old who is on her own that was trying to find herself. She was once in a very successful band, and once she moved on from them, things didn't go as good as she planned. We don't know much about her family, but we know about her past with Diamond Dust, which is a driving factor for our story to move forward. She is super hesitant to commit to the band because of how her past has been in the music business. She doesn't want to get too serious about it and get hurt like she's done before. Her group was on top of the world, but it became something that she didn't want to be a part of anymore. It simply became something that she couldn't enjoy. Out of everyone in the band, her and Nina definitely argue the most, and I don't think that is even up for discussion. Sometimes it can be funny, sad, or frustrating. They have arguments a lot and about anything. Moka is very likable too, and that's just a little bit of info on her. Alright, next we have Subaru. She's probably my favorite in the entire series. She is the funniest in the entire group by far. She plays the drums and her situation is very relatable as well to a lot. She is going through acting school for her grandma. She was a former big shot actress. Her grandmother always wanted Subaru to follow in her footsteps, which Subaru doesn't really want to do, but as we all know, it's hard to go against your parents when it comes to certain activities, especially when it comes to school, whether it's sports, music, or acting if it's like Subaru. We just don't want to let our parents down. And although Moka is the first one Nina met, if I were to pick her best friend in this show, I definitely say it's Subaru. Alright, next we're going to talk about Rupa. Who doesn't love Rupa? Rupa is a girl born to a South Asian father and a Japanese mother. She exudes artistic sensibility and possesses sharp intellect. Considered a genius due to her calm way of speaking and modest attitude, she earns the respect of others. However, her flaws lie in being a heavy drinker and having an excessively strong character. She 100% is the most calm and understanding in the entire group though. Her backstory is honestly super sad as well. It really hit me because throughout the show, we never saw her show any emotion really because she does act very mature. So of course we wouldn't have known if they didn't show or tell us, but Rupa is great. And lastly, one of my favorites, Tomo Ibizuka. Originally hailing from a well-known affluent family in her hometown, Tomo is now living in an apartment through room sharing. She maintains a cold and aloof attitude towards the world. She is highly wary and doesn't easily open up to others, with good reason. In the past, whenever she has opened up, it only has ended up hurting her and the people around her, just by voicing her opinion. She could have gone about it in a better way, of course, but that's just the kind of person that she is. As people, when we make mistakes, not saying this goes for everybody, but when we make a big mistake, even when we feel wrong, we are hesitant to try it again. Tomo was a prodigy on the keyboard, so she constantly expected people in her band to keep up to her standards, but people grew tired of it and quit because they felt like it was too much pressure for them. Everyone quit in this band except Rupa. This led to Tomo being quiet-lipped for the longest time to anyone aside from Rupa. She eventually got over this though and became a main member of the group, and probably my second favorite. The group takes time to warm up to each other, of course, much like any other group in the world, but eventually they grow to be really close and they all just look so nice and happy together every time they're on the screen. This show was damn near perfect for me. I have no complaints about it at all. I say now that I'm done with the whole character backgrounds, let me just praise everything overall. The music is probably the best I've heard in music anime for sure. Every song I felt like got better and better with each episode. I don't know what it is about music anime. It makes me want to learn more about music because the way that they talk about it just reaches people. In this show, it shows how you can reach people with music, or even how playing or singing can help put your troubles at ease, if for even a moment. Nina has an amazing voice, by the way. I heard that the singer did the voice acting for her too. If so, that is amazing, bro. Next, I want to talk about the animation. People said that they didn't like it. I will go ahead and tell you I'm not the most knowledgeable person on animation, but this looked pretty clean to me. The CGI is just so smooth and good looking. Everything they do in this show just looks so natural. Comedy is top tier too. It's not as constant as something like K-On! Or Bochi, but it's pretty realistic. Certain jokes they say, and they're for more mature people. Like, they drink quite a bit in the show too, and of course they have older people in the other shows who drink as well, but they aren't really a part of the main cast, you know, so you can't see it constantly. Lastly, let's talk about the realism, bro. This show definitely made me feel something. The more anime that come out, the more I feel like we get content that is just much and much more real to us with each one. This show deals with things when it comes to bullying, when it comes to being pressured by your family to do things, losing faith in yourself about doing something that you love because it just isn't working out for you, or not being able to trust people because of how things have worked out in past situations. This show hits every mark that I would like in a slice of life or a music anime. Girls Band Cry is definitely my favorite music anime of all time, and I think that we definitely need a season 2. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.